tequila.
Or is it just enabling the next hit? It's time to flip the script, Fargo. Let's demand treatment, not prolongation. That's the heat this week on BlackBeardLogic. No fluff, no backing down, just unfiltered frontline truth. Smash subscribe on YouTube. Follow the pod wherever you stream. Drop fire comments. Share your take. America thrives on straight shooters, and we are delivering. Stay locked, stay loaded, stay logical. Good evening, guys. Let me know how my mic sounds. This mic might be, one for the garbage heap. I'm just gonna. I don't know. It's not old, but on several platforms it sounds a little tinny. And I have another one, a gold one. I'm a modest dude. You guys know that. So there you go. But so want to hit this. So yesterday I was supposed to come on at 6 o'clock. It's the reason why it looks like I had a wardrobe change. I did not. That promo was supposed to run yesterday, and it did not because I found out that my dad broke his hand. I don't know. They said, and you can ask my wife this, that it's a boxer's fracture type deal. Like, I guess he broke it here, but like his whole hand was turning the colors of the rainbow, and it was the weirdest thing. And so had to get him to Fargo, had to get that sorted out. And my dad, as a matter of fact, back in the day, a little duct tape on there, a couple popsicle sticks, good to go, But they had to charge me $400 for this cast that I could have whipped up myself. That's neither here nor there. Long story short, he's fine. He's great. He's in there. I made some gumbo today from scratch. I make my own roux. I make everything's from scratch. So you got the pork, the chicken, the andouille, the rice, all of that good stuff in there. So he's good. He's taken care of. I'm doing the show today. And what a day. What a day to be doing a show. I mean, my God. Operation Epic Fury. Now, and I understand that I am going to have a ton of folks on here. And we're going to be on kind of opposite sides of this thing. And I am of two, make no mistake, I am, when it comes to America on the global stage, I am a non-interventionalist. I am. I'm a libertarian when it comes to that, especially when we have so many problems here at home. So we're going to unpack this Operation Epic Fury. Obviously, that was not in the promo because that happened today. It's like still breaking all the stuff. They're meeting at the UN, as a matter of fact, to talk about this thing. By all the commentary that I've seen today, it has been an epic success. I am going to play what I saw, from Fox News. We're going to play that. Mark Levin, and I know, obviously, because, I am me, and I, like a lot of my friends, a ton of my friends are, they're just like me. So you can't pigeonhole us into something, and I get that. I've been a fan of Mark Levin for a very long time. I think him, especially on the constitutional level, you can't beat him. You can't. And this clip, I edited it for time. That's the only edit I did. And it's only for time because it was kind of a long clip, so I edited it down. And long story short, from everything that I've been able to glean, Khomeini is dead, along with his top leaders. That's anywhere from 5 to 15 folks are dead. That includes his successor, his son. He's dead. And there was a joint U.S. Israeli strike, and they did this specifically because the Iranian regime didn't think we'd do it in broad daylight. So we're like, yeah, let's go hit them. And part of me is happy because this conflict between the United States and Iran has been going on almost as long as I've been on this planet, for like 47, 48 years. It's been going on. With them shouting death to America. Oh, hey, Dad, what's going on, brother? We got to talk, Dad. Me and you, we got to do another show together. Yeah, hit me up. Let me know what your schedule looks like for next Friday. We're gonna chop up. Dan, if you guys don't know, he's over there at Dan Hager TV, and a lot of the things that are brought to my attention, I get them from Dan. So you really should go over there and check that dude out. Check out his Twitter. Check out his YouTube. He has a lot of good stuff over there. But so back to the story. So a lot of their top leadership has been taken out. This thing has been going on for almost as long as I've been on the planet. I mean, you can see the gray hairs here. It's been going on a while. Death to America. But all the information that I've been able to glean says that Khomeini is dead. His top lieutenants are dead. His next in succession, which would be his son, is dead. And right now, we are having this discussion over whether or not what the Trump administration did was legal. Now, I have friends, good friends of mine, that believe that it was not legal. I happen to not be one of those people. I happen to believe that Donald Trump or Clinton or Biden, if he was cogent, has the powers with the War Powers Act to initiate something like this. And then Congress can come along and they can declare it. We have not had a declaration of war since World War II. Hey, Michael. Good to see you, brother. Now, so that's where I am now. I think Michael might have a disagreement with me on that issue also. But we'll chop it up. We'll talk about it. This was not originally in the show, but I definitely wanted to talk about this. So I'm going to play this clip. It's kind of a long one. I edited it for time. Nothing else. One. Two, if you just tuned in, this is Fox News, Mark Levin. I have always been a fan of the Great One. I've even had the pleasure of interviewing him way back in the day on AM 1100 The Flag. I forget what book he had written, but he's written a ton of books. I think he's brilliant. And as with pretty much everything in life, except for with my wife, I agree with her on 100% of things, not because it's cold and I don't want to sleep in my garage tonight. I'm just saying. If you know, you know. But I don't agree with Mark Levin on 100% of things. I'm more probably 75%. Back in the day, it was closer to that 90%. But here lately, you know, with my libertarian streak, and we can talk about that another day on another show. But on this, I think he's spot on. And I'm going to play this clip. I may pause it and talk through a little bit of it, so bear with me. I'm going to try not to, but you know your boy. So there you go. Here we go.
A senior U.S. defense official is telling our Jen Griffin that the U.S. government agrees with the Israeli assessment that the Ayatollah is dead, along with 5 to 10 other top Iranian leaders who were all meeting at a compound in Tehran today. Let's bring in Mark Levin now, host of Life, Liberty, and Levin. Jump in on the coverage and the breaking news. Welcome.
Well, a couple of things. First of all, this is a big deal. Khomeini's dead. It's like Hitler was killed or killed himself. This is a big deal. Now, we do know how this government is created. There's been many papers written on this. It runs like the mob. He created a government that is loyal to him. He made all the calls, all the shots. So you have these guys negotiating over here. They had no control over anything. And while they were negotiating, we're making progress, he was giving a speech in Farsi saying, we're keeping our nukes, we're keeping our uranium, we're keeping our ballistic missiles, and that is that. And this is what they do. That's number one. Number two, he had a successor. It was his son. And we believe his son was killed too. Number three, the whole loyalty apparatus to him is gone. It's like the mob. That's the way he built this thing. And he had an inner circle, then a next circle, then he had the military circle, and he built it that way so these people would be loyal to him, and he used his fundamentalist ideology as the basis for promoting his personal power. That's exactly what he did. So they can be defeated. They may have somebody lined up, but they're not going to have the loyalty that he had. That's number one. Number two, what is all this off-ramp stuff? I mean, when you're in a UFC fight, it ends one of two ways. You beat the crap out of the guy and he's knocked out, or they surrender.
And see, right here, I agree with it, 100%. Now, this guy has been chanting death to America, death to Israel this entire time. We've been giving this guy all sorts of chances. Donald Trump is a negotiator. He has given them tons of time. Even with this last bit, he's given them a time frame, and he's like, hey, you got 10 days, and then we're going to do something. You know, we're negotiating. These people cannot have a nuclear weapon. I agree with that. I don't want a protracted war. I don't want another Iraq situation. I am not one of those guys that say export our democracy. I don't want regime change. I don't want any of that crap. If we're going in because we think that there is an actual nuclear threat, that these people are actually trying to obtain nuclear fission so they can have a weapon that they can sit on top of a not ballistic, but intercontinental missile or ballistic missile and fire, hit one of our allies or hit us. I'm all for stopping that. That's what I'm all about right there. Don't give two craps about a regime change. I don't. I do not believe that the United States should engage in regime changes. So I wanted to make that clear. And here we go.
They want to unilaterally surrender, then that's fine. Like with the Japanese, they wouldn't unilaterally surrender, so Truman put an end to it his own way, all through World War II and so forth and so on. You want to end a forever war.
Another point, I believe, and again, I'm just humble me, and Mark Levin is the great one. I think that was a very bad example to use, because a lot of my libertarian friends use that exact example as to why we should not have any say over whether or not Iran, who is a sovereign nation, has a nuke. Because we, the United States, are the only country to have ever used one. Now, again, that's another topic for another show with like-minded folks. And I would welcome that. I would welcome that discussion. I just think that was a bad point.
The forever war. And these guys are losing. As far as I'm watching our network and other networks, their response is utterly ineffective. They're shooting shotgun blasts. They're hitting their own allies. Their allies are turning on them. I don't see mass casualties in Israel. I don't see mass casualties anywhere. Nothing like there was in June. So I'm using my own mind, my eyes and my ears, and I'm saying they're getting the crap kicked out of them. The top echelon was knocked out. The supreme leader is supreme no more. He's supremely dead. And that whole infrastructure has been attacked. The whole top infrastructure has been attacked. The Israelis accomplished that. Our military is beating the hell out of various objects of our that we're targeting, military and so. This is number one, a massive success so far. A massive success. These Arab countries are backing us. They're literally backing Israel. Number two, Khomeini's gone. He's the key. He's the mobster boss. Number three, I know the media, the Democrats, they want an off-ramp, I don't even like that phrase. When did we start using that phrase? We're in the middle of a war. Oh, we have an off-ramp. Off-ramp? Let them find an off-ramp. It's very easy.
Again, 100% agree with this. I think for far too long, we take our foot off the neck of our enemy, and we allow them to gather strength to spin propaganda and all of that stuff. I am right here, solid in this camp. Once we start, now, given that we give you all kinds of off-ramps before contact, once contact happens, I want our army to kill things, break things, and then sort it out later. I don't want a, half-hearted or half-ass attack. I don't want that. I want 100% domination. And so I agree with Mark here.
We surrender. That's the off-ramp. Now, one other thing. These Democrats, they support illegal aliens, criminals, and now a terrorist regime. They're sitting there trying to figure out how to sabotage the President of the United States and the United States military in the middle of a war that we're winning. And Schumer says, we're going to call everybody back and have an emergency meeting about what? Under Article 2, Section 1, the President of the United States is Commander-in-Chief. Under Article 1, Section 8, Clause 11, Congress can declare war. Okay, they can declare it or not declare it. And they only declared it 11 times in our history. And the last time was World War II. They didn't have a problem when Clinton was dropping bombs and Obama was dropping bombs.
Again, 100% agree with this analysis. With his analysis right here, this segment of it, 100% agreement.
Bombs and Obama was dropping bombs and Biden was dropping bombs. No problem. The fact of the matter is, the War Powers Act of 1973, every administration, Democrat and Republican, have believed that that is utterly unconstitutional. Congress and the president have not brought this matter before the Supreme Court because they don't really want it resolved. Yeah. But when I watch Democrats come on and say, this is unconstitutional, this is an illegal war, and we keep quoting this guy, Massey? Massey is an extreme libertarian. Or Rand Paul, an extreme libertarian. Or what's this guy, Ro Khanna? Ro Khanna is a pure Trump hater.
I don't like him doing this. I happen to be a supporter of Ron Paul and Thomas Massey. We can disagree. Like, I have very good friends. I'm not going to call them out on the podcast unless they say, hey, that's okay. But I have very good friends. I have friends that when I am in need of counsel, I call them. And they are 100% in the Massey, Rand Paul camp. And they're friends. Sometimes we disagree, but that's what people with rational thinking minds do. You're not going to be a drone. You're not going to be simpatico. So I don't agree with him on calling out Massey and Rand Paul, even Ro Khanna, who is a Democrat. Like, I don't agree with Ro Khanna probably 80% of the time. There have been, however, times that I do agree with him. So, and Axel, I don't know if you just joined us or not, but I said that. Basically, these people have been a thorn in our side for almost as long as I've been on this planet. And we've been pussyfooting around with them. Obama did that horrible, horrible Iran deal that got them closer to nuclear fissile material. And I think that, and when we unpack this years from now and in history, I think Donald Trump is going to go down as one of the most consequential presidents in our history. Because all this stuff that has been dragging on for as long as I've been sucking air here, he's going to resolve it. Like, he could have done this with his second term that the Democrats stole from him. He had the peace deals going that were actual peace deals. He was moving forward, making the global community a safer community. Peace through strength. That's what it's all about. You can't be strong if you concede to these idiots. These idiots, death to America, death to the great Satan, death to the small Satan, all of that stuff, subjugating their people. And again, if you just joined us, I do not believe in regime change. I believe that the folks in Iran, if they wanted regime change, they should have changed it a while ago. You don't give up your guns, you don't give up your rights, you don't do any of that stuff, and you want to be free for the long term. And one of the reasons that I fight so hard, and my buddies like Axe and JD and Clay and folks like that on the Guns in the 701 network fight so hard for our Second Amendment rights is so that we are not in the position that the Iranian people have been in for over 40, 50 years. You look at pictures from back before I was born at Iran, and people are walking around. It looks pretty modern. Women don't have to have the hijab on or hijab or whatever it's called. People would go there for vacation and feel safe and all of that. And then these chuckleheads, they get in power. And just like Mark Levin said, they set it up almost like La Costa Nostra. There's no dissent. They crack down on everything. They crack down on everyone. And that starts with disarming a population. And if I want my son, if I want Eli not to grow up in an Iran-type liberal society, I want to keep him as free as possible as long as I have breath in my body, which is why I do the things that I do. These people, they didn't do that. And still, even though I love liberty, I don't believe in exporting our brand of democracy. I don't think it's compatible. So if we're going in there to depose a regime, I don't agree with that. I do agree with what they're doing here. Now, Trump comes out and he goes, we toppled the Iranian regime. It was a horrible regime. It was the worst regime ever. I don't know. People have told me that. Now, if he comes out, I'm not going to agree with him on that. I will agree on him stepping in, stopping nukes, and stopping these people who have been trying to obtain nukes for a very long time after we tried to negotiate with them. After the insane Iran deal that Obama penned, that was truly a garbage deal for the global community. After all that falls apart, what do you have? Like if I told Eli, hey, you cannot play this PlayStation game. And if you do, there's going to be consequences. And then he looks at me and he plays it anyway. And I go, hey, kid, do not play that game. Put that controller down. And he looks at me and he basically is like, what are you going to do? And Daddy's got to take the belt off. I just do. And if you're a man, you understand that. If you're a parent, you understand that. If you're a disciplinarian, you understand that. You cannot sit back and just allow behavior that is harmful to continue because you don't have the stomach to pull the belt out. And I think that's what Trump did here. And if he did it for that reason, 100% on board. What I do not want to hear is regime change. And you're right, didn't work in Afghanistan. Spilled enough blood and money trying it there, 100%. 100%. I can't say that word. F Iran, F Israel. This is not our war. And Brendan, dude, I get you, brother. And we can talk about that on another show. I 100% understand the angst and the backlash against Israel for a lot of things. I do. But there's some nuances there. There's some, and now I'm going to get folks saying that I'm paid by. I'm not. I'm not paid by Israel. No, that's not a thing. But you also have to be practical. So I'm just going to leave it there and let this continue to play.
Conan is a pure Trump hater. These aren't constitutional experts. In my opinion, they're not even serious people. The president has every bit of constitutional and legal authority to do exactly what he is doing. And by the way, notice, who took out Khomeini? Who's taking out the leadership? Who's assassinating them? The Israelis. Why? Because it's a question under American law whether you can do it. So they're very careful. This has been lawyered. What the Democrats are doing is they're looking for any possibility to do what? To sabotage our military, the commander-in-chief, and this country as we are successfully waging a war against a tyrant who's killed over 1,000 Americans, maimed thousands of Americans, wanted nuclear weapons to blow us off the face of the earth. We should be celebrating this.
Yeah,
if this isn't to unite us, what the hell is going to?
Hey, Mark, if I could, let's get back to the breaking news here, and that is the Israeli assessment and that the U.S. concurs that Khomeini is dead. And what comes next after this? We talked about the idea that there may be a law.
And Brandon, I understand it. You're going to have to unpack that for me, though, brother. I think that there are very good reasons to do this. I think regime change is not one of them. But I do believe that there are very good reasons to do this. You have an unstable, dictatorial regime that runs in a Costa Nostra type fashion that and the subjugation of its people, when those people believe in Sharia law and all of that, I don't believe that that's a good enough reason to go in, but I do believe that there are reasons that we go in. Again, Brandon, I agree. And I said this. I mean, if you were here from the beginning, I said exactly that. I don't believe in giving our money to anyone, and that includes Israel. When our own infrastructure is crumbling, when our veterans are sleeping, our homes, they're sleeping on the streets, man. I'm not one of those people. I think that one of the most eye-opening things of the Trump administration was the Doge report, where it showed how much of our money was going overseas. 100% agree with you there. But we're not fighting Israel's war. No matter how you want to structure that, that is not a thing. These regional conflicts never stay regional. And I'll stand by that. They never stay regional. We have to make sure that America is safe. And that goes for our economy, our allies, our physical well-being. We have to do that through strength. You cannot do that if you allow people like this to go 50 plus years thumbing out their nose at us, attempting to get a nuclear weapon, which they will absolutely use. These people believe that the only thing that is going to bring Mohammed back is the blood of the infidel running in the street. How do you do that? You do it with they can't do it with conventional weapons, and they know that. How do you do that? You do that with a nuclear weapon. So sometimes we got to get our heads out of our asses, our libertarian asses. And again, I have a lot of libertarian in me, a lot. But I believe sometimes we have to get our collective heads out of our libertarian asses and recognize what's actually going on here. And I understand the deep state. I understand that. I understand that the Israeli lobby has a lot of pull that they should not have. I understand that we give them a lot of money that we should not give them. Also, that's a global thing. I think that we have our fingers in way too many global pies and our money going to way too many global partners. I get that. That's not what I'm talking about here. Here we go.
Successors of clerics.
And they've been a week away from a nuke for 30 years. Yeah, that's because Israel or we go in and sabotage them. There's a lot more behind that than just these little talking points.
who are just lined up ready to go after this. But there comes a point as well that if you look and you see that the top leadership has been decapitated, then the rank and file of the levels below say, you know what, this is not worth it. And you have the overwhelming momentum of the Iranian population that has bristled against the repressive tactics of this regime, and they want something different. And they maybe all get together, and then you reach critical mass, and there's an overthrow, as there was in Iran back in 1979. That said, I remember in Iraq, well, the problem is Saddam Hussein. If we get rid of Saddam Hussein, everything will be great. And as we saw, it went to hell in a handbag. So what do you see as the possibilities here?
You know, I find all these analogies to be a little troublesome. No situation is exactly the same. In a military operation, like a sporting event or anything else, you press your advantage. We have the advantage now. It's not even close. So we're going to stop, and we're going to say, we need an off-ramp. We're going to stop and say, well, maybe we can negotiate victory. Victory or complete surrender without conditions. That's why we have our men and women on the line, their lives on the line. That's why the Israelis have their men and women, their lives on the line. It's time to get this over with right now. If I would have told you a day ago that Khomeini would be dead, that in fact the response has been fairly anemic, that the so-called moderate Arab countries would be ganging up on Iran, if I told you that so far as we know not a single American casualty is taking place, you'd tell me I'm drinking something or I'm smoking something, that it's not that simple. It's not that it's that simple. This is one of the most brilliant military operations, perhaps ever, when we learn all about it. We're having enormous success with our Israeli partners. The Arab countries have turned on Iran. What does Iran have? They don't have an air force. They don't have a navy. They've got missiles. We're dealing with their missiles. China's not coming to their help. Russia's not coming to their help. And we're going to say we need an off-ramp, that we're going to negotiate something? No. Finish it. Finish it. Victory or unconditional surrender. Then we can try and figure out the rest of it. It may not be perfect. It may be ugly. Who knows? But to answer your question, it's impossible to know every single thing that's going to take place. But I do know that victory or unconditional surrender make it a lot easier.
Yep, they sure do. There's no question about that.
Agree.
Clearly, they were trying to get through the missile defense system and trying to make a point, a sort of a last gasp, if you will, and protest against the killing of not only Ali Khamenei, but based on my reporting, 5 to 10 of the top leaders of Iran's, the IRGC commander, as well as the defense minister and others, all of them taken out in that initial strike. And then just back to our original reporting in the last 2 hours, we learned from a senior U.S. defense official that the timeline for when the strikes would begin, the joint operation between Israel and the U.S., had to be moved up because of this intelligence that this meeting was taking place on a Saturday morning in Tehran. In Iran, they were feeling very complacent that it was still Shabbat as well as Ramadan and daylight when the U.S. normally doesn't strike, and that is when the intelligence came in that they were all meeting and the timeline was moved forward.
Yeah, Brandon, I agree, brother. It's been too long. Brandon is an old friend of mine. I haven't heard from him in, God, probably 5 years. It's been a while. But Brandon, I don't know if you heard earlier. I have a ton of libertarian friends. And again, I already broke this down, but I'll say it again for the folks that may have just joined or joined late. I have a lot of libertarian leanings, a ton. I do not believe in interventionalism. I don't. I think that America should take care of America and that folks should not mess with us because we are the biggest swinging stick on the planet. And that if you poke us when we raise our head, just like the song, Toby Keith's song, you don't want to poke that bear. You poke that particular bear, we come out with teeth and fangs and claws. We eviscerate you. We make sure that you are never in the position to ever challenge us again, and then we go back to making America great again. That's where I am. But this issue has been going on, again, for longer than I've been sucking air. So when do you say, all right, enough is enough? Trump goes in, he tries to negotiate, he gives them a timeline, he says, hey, you know, you guys, and Trump is one of those rare leaders. And again, I don't agree with 100% of anything that anyone says, save my mom, God rest her soul, my dad, who is in there trying me right now because he keeps, the reason the camera is turned this way is because he'll keep coming toward the stairs and out, peeking out. And so I turn the camera this way. And my wife. Those are the only people that I agree with 100% of the time. And even if I don't, I'm going to say that I do. So, but Trump is one of those rare cats that he does not like to see death. He doesn't like to see, and I'm the same way. Like, you look at the Russia-Ukraine situation, where you got all of those young men, those providers, those protectors, those fathers, those sons, and they're dying off. That's not good for society. It's just not. So I believe his headspace is, let's make a deal. And the only time that falls apart is when you keep pushing his buttons. Again, I gave the analogy of Eli playing his PlayStation. I give him 30 minutes a day. So if that timer goes off and he's still playing it, he knows. Dad can see him on the cameras. I'll give him a little warning. Hey, buddy, because I can speak through my cameras. Hey, you got to get off. If I look and there's a minute that he's still playing, then we got an issue. We got an issue. Sometimes, and I if you know me, you know how I love this kid. But sometimes I have to be the disciplinarian. And I think that's where Trump's headspace is right now. The only reason they have a problem with us is our stupid. No, they had a problem with us. Well, that's an argument that we can have. So, yeah, Brandon, me and you, we're going to chop it up one of these days, probably right here on this podcast. It's going to be great, man. And know that if I invite you on this podcast, I am not going to censor you. You can say whatever you want. I mean, you know, you got to keep it. My son watches this, so keep the profanity, you know, to a minimum. And I know other folks, like I am a devout Christian. So if you, and my wife will tell you this, if I use profanity, it means I am upset. Like it's go time. If you hear, or I'm like insanely drunk, like that's a thing. But in casual conversation, I tend not to. I do not. I don't like it. I think it's the sign of a weak mind. So, like, if I invite you on, I am not going to censor you at all. You say what you want. Don't feel like you got to couch your words or whatever. Brandon, we're going to do that. I think that's long overdue. He's one of my good libertarian buddies that didn't go over to the dark side. Like, what's Lartard's name? I'm not even going to say his name, but you guys know who I mean. Lartard, you know, roly-poly, that dude. Anyway, I'm going to hit our first break right now. Leon Francis, BlackBeardLogic. We'll touch on this. I'll clean it up on the other side of the break, and then we'll move on to the second topic for tonight. But this is Guns in the 701. I am Leon Francis, your host, and we'll be right back right after this break.
Hey, it's Leon Francis from BlackBeardLogic on the Guns in the 701 network. I'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors. Stay tuned.
When you want it done right, go where lemons go. Kalen's Auto Service, owned and operated by Kalen and Misty Foss, lifelong locals with over 25 years experience. From modern rides to classic restorations, they can handle it all. Top quality work, fair price, and honest hometown values. Located just one block south of Highway 12 on 6th Avenue West in Lemon. Kalen's Auto Service, serving you with all your auto repair needs.
LAUER Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. LAUER Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at LAUER Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's LAUER Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Come on, no!
Welcome back. It's Leon Francis with BlackBeardLogic on the Guns and the 701 Network. Let's get it.
So, before the break, again, Leon Francis, BlackBeardLogic, Guns and the 701 Network, coming at you sideways because my dad's back there, and you guys, you don't want to see that. He comes at me with the cane and whatnot. But anyway, we were talking about the Ramadan. I'm going to call it that. I will lose zero sleep over this guy getting taken out. I think it was, we are well past the time where this dude should have been, taken out. I'm just going to say that. And I'm also going to say that, I stand behind Trump on this. I mean, it's not about warmongering or endless conflicts or anything like that. It's about leadership. It's the kind that puts America first and protects our interests and projects our strength, shows our unyielding resolve. Trump is always Trump. He's always championed peace through strength. It's like Reagan. And again, I didn't agree with Reagan. I was probably a 75-80% Reagan guy. I don't like the Mund Act. I think it's anti-Second Amendment, and that was a Reagan thing. So before people put me in that category where, I'm like, rah, Trump, rah, Reagan, rah. No, I can support a guy and still have disagreements. And I think way too many of us tend to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I would much prefer a Trump to a Biden or an Obama or a Clinton. That's what I'm saying. I would, well, I'm not going to even say that because it'll be taken out of context. But Trump he's always been a peace through strength guy. And that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing precise, decisive action against Iran's nuclear ambitions. Now, we're not going in there just indiscriminately carpet bombing or anything like that. We're hitting the nuclear facilities. We're taking out the leadership. And we can talk about that. But in my opinion, for far too long, this regime has sponsored terror. Like, again, the biggest state sponsor of terror globally is Iran. So, what are you going to do with that? Their ambitions, their military machine, their ambition to acquire nuclear fissile material is exactly why we should have went in a long time ago. Like I said, for way too long, these people have been the state sponsor of terror, the biggest one, the number one. I have no patience for people that chant, "Death to America." while hiding behind their proxies. The upside of this is, I guess, and again, this cannot be the primary reason because I do not agree with it if it's the primary reason. But if it's collateral damage, if it's ancillary, then this operation gives the Iranian people a shot at freedom without dragging us into another quagmire, which is why I like this. It's smart. It's targeted. It's already shifting the balance in the Middle East for better. Trump gets it. It's not about like Lindsey Graham type glee over regime change. I hate that guy, as a matter of fact. Lindsey Graham, don't get me started on that dude. This thing was about safeguarding our allies and ensuring that Eli and our kids and grandkids don't inherit a world where these tyrants hold nuclear swords over our heads. Again, if you know anything about any type of theocracy, any religion, any of the Abrahamic religions, you understand that with Islam, the way to bring back Muhammad is to have blood in the street, massive casualties. And the way you do that when you can't do it with conventional weapons, it's the nuclear weapon. And I happen to believe that. Again, as a God-fearing Christian man, I believe that. Trump's mission was to defame them, to strip away their ability to build nukes and export violence. And I believe that that is noble and necessary. It's not diplomacy for diplomacy's sake. I hate that. It's action when words fail. And it also deters not just Iran, but other adversaries like Russia and China who watch us. Now, if you're Russia or China and you see this, and you notice they've been very, very quiet. They saw the Maduro thing. They see this. They see us going, even when Russia is trying to, against the embargo, trying to do the whole illegal oil and whatnot, and Trump, this administration goes and grabs it. It's like, nope, not happening. So everybody's all wee-weed up about the UN. Another discussion. I don't think that we should be in that thing. I don't think that we should be in NATO unless a lot of reforms are happening. I think it should be dismantled, both of those entities. But if we're going to have laws and we're going to do sanctions and we're going to say you can't do this and you can't do that, but there's no teeth behind it because there isn't, then what are we doing? Trump has come in and he's like, all right, dad's home, pulls off the belt, sets the ground rules. This is how it's going to go. And he doesn't just talk. He actually walks the walk. And we got people right now wee-weed up because he said a thing and then he did the thing that he said he was going to do. Honesty and accountability. I support Trump in this position. His clear-eyed approach to neutralizing the threat. I don't share, like I said before, Lindsey Graham's almost gleeful enthusiasm for full regime change. I don't. But we need to stay focused on the core objective. Defanging that regime's capabilities without committing to an open-ended push for toppling the government and entangling us in a prolonged nation-building or whatever. I just say God bless Trump, God bless our military, God bless us. and I'm going to leave it at that. And me and Brandon are probably going to chop this up at a later date. And I didn't initially have this as the second thing on the show sheet, but I think I want to hit this now because I think it's pertinent right now. I think there is more to it. Yeah. Okay. No, I'm reading through the comments here. And I think so too, Coach. Maybe you and I can talk about this, when I'm done here. I probably should have reached out to a couple of my friends before I started tap, that sort of thing. But I didn't because I knew what was going to happen. Like, I have friends, and we've been arguing since the State of the Union. We've been arguing. People I respect, still respect. As a matter of fact, it's like I said, some of these folks, I call for advice routinely. When I think that I'm going off the rails on, whatever the political thing that's got my undies in a bunch. But right now I'm gonna transition into my Christ OS. Now, it doesn't sound like you are on my big mic. See, that's what I meant. There's something up with this stupid mic or my stupid sound card. I don't know. I'm going to have to bring out the gold one. I don't want you guys to think that I'm putting on airs or I'm being presumptuous or whatever. But I got another mic. It's a really good one, but it's gold. And I'm like, now, if I put that mic on, they're going to think that I'm channeling Rush. And doesn't sound like I'm on my big mic. I'm going to try to make some adjustments during the next break. That really sucks because this mic is less than a year old. And if I have to retire it, I almost hope that it's the sound card, because with the sound card, I can wipe it and I can reinstall all the firmware, and maybe there's a bug in there. I'm hoping that's the case. When I'm done with this podcast, I think I'm going to hook up the gold mic and do a short recording, see how it sounds to my ear. If it sounds the same, that's a good thing, because that means that I just go in there, wipe the sound card, re-upload the firmware, and then we're off to the races. It's no bass, all treble. Let me know how this sounds. I'm going to try to do some adjustments here. That's all the way. Test. Pimp, mic, and yeah. If you saw my intro or you saw I had Tyrone Bigham, yeah, it's like that. I love it. I love that I can see the comments as they come in. And sometimes I put them on the screen. Sometimes I take them away because, they kind of get in the way. And what I see, I can see through them. But I noticed that on the stream, it's a block. And you can't see through them. And I'll do it here quick. Oh, no. I'm looking at them now. Okay, I guess. I don't know. About the same. That blows, man. Let's see. What can I do? Let me know if this sounds any better. I'm running in the red right now. But anyway, so now I'm going to transition to Christ OS. And I'm doing this because I think it kind of segues well with the last conversation that we had in the last segment. I'm one of those guys, and Trump thinks this way too. You see all those dads, all those sons, all those people dying. I don't want to see, and I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what country you come from. To me, war is the absolute end scenario. Like, all talking, all negotiations out the window. You're coming and threatening me, my family, whatever. Then we pull out the guns, because the taking of a life, it's just not a thing that I even want to do unless it's absolutely necessary. I will, 100%. But it's not preferable. It's not, especially not the first go round. Let's talk it out. Let's see what we can do. That sort of thing. The other day, I think it was last Sunday, I was looking at my dad, and it just kind of hit me. This Christ OS just kind of hit me. So wrote it up, did the video. Let me know what you guys think about it. Here we go. Leon Francis, BlackBeardLogic, Guns in the 701 Network. This is my latest installment of Christ OS.
This morning, I was thinking about my dad. He's knocking on 90 years old now, battling dementia. And though I tell him often how much I appreciate his sacrificial labor, his protection, and everything that he's poured into us, I can't shake the feeling that his life and the lives of so many Christian fathers are undervalued commodities in our world. I see the calm, the steady, prayerful provider who leads his home with faith and love. But people rarely glimpse the inner chaos that happens day to day, and the predators he keeps at bay by simply being present. All the battles fought, not all victorious, but sticking it through as long as there is breath in his body. I think about that every night as he is sundowning, and he's still checking the locks, checking the windows, checking the doors, and then praying for the physical and spiritual safety of everyone in his household. Even though I tell him, Dad, I'm more than capable, he still regards it as his duty. Through peace found in prayer, careful preparation, God-given strength, he keeps the household peaceful and Christ-centered, so that we can thrive without bearing the weight of the world. No one applauds the silent battles fought on his knees, the worries buried deep so his kids can grow secure in God's promises, or the tempest raging inside of him while he still shows up strong, modeling Christ's sacrificial love in every humble, steady step. No one says thank you for holding everything together when his own world felt like it was crumbling. Life simply moves on, as if that quiet endurance costs nothing. Yet many Christian fathers carry those tempests within, and by God's grace, choose not to let a single drop fall on their loved ones. That unseen, unpraised strength, rooted in prayer, forged in preparation, and sustained by divine resolve, is rare, profound, and foundational. Your quiet strength is what secures your progeny's physical and spiritual future. A strong family is the cornerstone of a strong society. Strong Christian fathers built a very society that we live in today, one so comfortable that many assume its peace and stability simply is, without grasping the decades of toil, prayer, and sacrifice that created and still maintain it. Their quiet guardianship shapes secure homes, resilient generations, and a nation grounded in biblical values, even when the world never acknowledges it out loud. So to every Christian dad who guards the peace, leads in humility, and points his family to Christ, including my own father, whose legacy still stands firm, your sacrifices matter deeply. Your labor in the Lord is not in vain. Keep standing firm. Your quiet strength echoes through eternity, securing the physical safety and the spiritual inheritance of your children and their children after them. So take a minute today to offer a prayer of gratitude to your spiritual father and your biological one. BlackBeardLogic.
Now, I know, and I have siblings who have issues with my dad. One of the reasons why he's all the way up here in the frozen north is partially because of that. And, like, if you know me, you know, when I moved up here way back, me and my dad had issues. We had, and I think I think that it's a special type of dad, just to have good kids that have good heads on their shoulders, and you have some kind of falling out. I hope, and I'm not perfect. My wife will gladly tell you that, like, gladly. And like I had issues with my dad, and some of them, you know, you can't. They weren't the talking out kind, you know. But I love that dude. I'd kill a brick over it. I would. Not because I agreed with every aspect of his life. Not because I think that he's a vaunted saint. That'd be my mom. Because my mom put up with all those Francis men. She was a saint. Absolute saint. My wife is a saint. Like, to put up with me, to put up with 3 generations of Francis men. Like, my God, you guys should be sending her like gifts and roses and chocolates and jujube, whatever women like. She should get a ton of those things, because that's what she's doing right now. In addition to my honorary ass and Eli just being Eli and all that 8-year-old testosterone and homeschooling. But still, I look at him and I think, like, every night, tonight, right now, because the sun is down, he's going to be checking all the doors. He's going to be checking all the locks. And you could probably hear him now if this mic wasn't garbage. He'll be in there praying for everybody in this house. And he'll do, because he has dementia, he'll do that 20 times. And to him, it's like the first time. So all of the tashing, all of it, from the first prayer, is in every single prayer. And I heard him do that one night. And, like, most nights, I just stay down here until he goes to sleep, because I know that he'll get up, he'll check and with me, I'm a weird cat. Even if I'm sleeping, even if I know it's him downstairs, even if I know it's him, I grab my gun, I come downstairs, I recheck everything, just in case, you know, just in case. And I tell him, Dad, I got it, blah, 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 this and that. and we'll do the 20 questions that people sundowning normally do, and but it struck me like it does not matter what difference I have with that dude, with my father. It doesn't matter. He'd kill a brick over. Right now today, he's 90 years old. And if somebody came in this house, he'd have his cane up and his broken wing, and he'd be at the front door giving that guy hell. He just would. Because he feels that's his duty to do. Even though did you see that? I'm not a lightweight, and I'm armed. I got push daggers and knives and guns all over the house. He still feels that it is his duty to protect me and my family. Like, to me, that's mind blowing. So my Christ OS, that whole series, subscribe, go to my YouTube page, it's BlackBeardLogic on YouTube. Subscribe, share those things, because when I make those, it is a cathartic thing for me. And if I can impart any of that spirituality that I feel when I am doing the voiceovers, when I'm creating those things, I think it's worth it. I love doing those. And I'm this bearded, gruff dude. I mean, you guys know me. You know me. So you don't often get to see my emotion. That would be one of my outlets, one of my emotional outlets right there. And if you agree with them, hit that like, subscribe, share them. I like making them, and if folks agree and they like seeing them, I'll make a ton more of them. Like, I got a lot of stuff rattling around up here. All of it's not great, but some of it is. And so when it comes out, and what's the artsy fartsy word? Artistic creativity or whatever that is. That's what that is. Anyway, Leon Francis, BlackBeardLogic, Guns in the 701 Network. When we come back from this break, our next break, I'm going to talk about, I'm either going to do, and because the time is running kind of short, I'm going to have to cut some of these down. But we're either going to talk about from Mengele to modern medicine, North Dakota's battle against the pseudo-science on kids, or maybe I'll just talk about both of them. And then the enabling overdose. And this is from my buddies at Fargo First. Enabling overdose, Fargo's Narcan record high. Is it harm reduction or harm promotion? And as you saw in the promo, Tyrone Biggums, he loves it. And if you don't know who Tyrone Biggums is, when we're on the commercial, do a quick Google search. You'll see who I am talking about. We'll be right back right after this break. Leon Francis, Guns in the 701. We'll be right back.
LAUER Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. LAUER Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at LAUER Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns in the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's LAUER Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
When you want it done right, go where lemons go. Kalen's Auto Service, owned and operated by Kalen and Misty Foss, lifelong locals with over 25 years experience. From modern rides to classic restorations, they can handle it all. Top quality work, fair price, and honest hometown values. Located just 1 block south of Highway 12 on 6th Avenue West in Lemon. Kalen's Auto Service, serving you with all your auto repair needs.
For the best gun gear for every and any situation, Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger to essential extras from Magpul's, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
At Horton Laser Craft, we believe in the power of personalization. Whether it's a cherished memory, a special occasion, or a unique gift, our custom laser engraving brings your vision to life. Our expert craftsmen and state-of-the-art technology ensure every piece is a work of art. From personalized decor to one-of-a-kind keepsakes, Horton Lasercraft makes every moment unforgettable. Horton Lasercraft is owned and operated by a local veteran and his wife located near Thunderhawk, South Dakota. They provide custom laser products at a reasonable price, and their turnaround time is fast and efficient.
Custom board cutting, glassware, decanter sets, mugs, assorted stainless steel jewelry, assorted tags, decor, custom acrylic nightlights, and much, much more.
Call them up at 605-545-7535. Horton Lasercraft, where memories are engraved.
Welcome back. Leon Francis, Guns in the 701 Network. This is BlackBeardLogic. Had you guys been 1 minute sooner, you'd have heard my coon hound going off because I guess Eli was outside running around. And you don't do that with the coon hound. And this year, I'm getting the bloodhound. And if you think the coon hound has some vocals, just wait. You ain't heard nothing yet. So I'm going to hit these two. These are out of Fargo. I wish I had the graphics to throw up here. Go to my Facebook page. You'll find both of these. I did some short columns on them. From Mengele to modern medicine, North Dakota's battle against pseudo-science on kids. So here in North Dakota, apparently you can't run away from the rainbow jihadists. There's a legal fight right now over our state's ban on gender-affirming medical care to minors, and it's headed back to the North Dakota Supreme Court. And this one, it goes straight to the rotten core of what's wrong with medicine today. The reason, like Lartard and all those idiots at the forum are, kind of othering folks like me for vaccine hesitancy and things like that. This would be a reason why. When you have the medical community go lock, stock, and barrel behind something that is clearly not healthcare, clearly a mental illness. And it's one of the reasons why, as a matter of fact, I'm not one of those people that always talk about mental health, because I think it's an industry. I think if people got better, they'd be out of a job. So they prolong. It is the profiteering off of mental illness. Same thing with the vaccine thing. Same thing with healthcare overall, which is why I ascribe to a holistic type of healthcare. I believe exercise, sunlight, hard, and especially if you're a guy, hard, intensive, prolonged work is what's going to keep you healthy, not a friggin' vaccine. That is just my opinion on the thing. I think that if you did any digging at all, and I'm probably going to do a podcast just kind of compiling the things that I've seen that has me at this point, that my son will never see a needle, ever. Absolutely ever. But back to the story. So, Eli, hey, I'm doing the podcast, buddy. Need some quiet. See, that's 8-year-old testosterone. If you guys heard that, I'm sorry. So, February 26th, attorneys for 3 minor patients, their families, and Bismarck pediatric Dr. Louis Casa filed a notice of appeal with the state's highest court. They're challenging the last, the district court, I think it was last fall, the district court's ruling that upheld the 2023 healthcare ban. Now, that law stops doctors from handing out hormone treatments, puberty blockers, or surgeries to kids for gender transitioning. So, if they break this, you get up to a year in jail and a bunch of big fines, which I agree with. If you mutilate a kid and you call yourself a doctor, I think they should throw you under the jail. I think that is wood chipper material, and I'll tell you why. Kids are dumb, and that's it in a nutshell. Kids are not smart individuals. Eli routinely, especially when he was younger, used to think he was a Ninja Turtle. Am I supposed to affirm that? Go out, have a doctor fuse a shell on his back or something. He thinks sometimes that he's a superhero. I have to tell him to climb down off of things and not jump down off of things because, kid, you cannot fly. And that's a little comical spin. Let me hit something that's a little more serious. You have a daughter. You think she's beautiful. She thinks she's fat. She is not fat. She is anorexic, as a matter of fact. You can see her shoulder blades and her, Christy Nome, people like that, Ann Coulter. You can clearly see that these people are not well. Your daughter comes to you and says she's fat. Do you go out and get a doctor to help her lose weight? No, you wouldn't. And if you got a doctor, he would tell you that. Wait, you're undernourished. You're malnourished. You're anorexic. It is a mental condition. And what you would do, if it were my daughter, is I would not affirm to her that, yeah, you're fat. We need to shape up, we need to try to get some of this fat off. That would not show that I loved her. It wouldn't. It would make me feel good because I'm not arguing with her. That's the only thing, that's the only feel good part about that is that I am not arguing with her anymore. But as a loving father, what I would do, I would sit her down and go, honey, you're not fat. But what we could do is we can start a workout routine, get you toned up, get your muscles going there, and absolutely keep an eye on her. Don't let her do the bulimic thing. Make sure she has proper food intake. And I would affirm to my daughter that she is beautiful, just the way she is. No need to change it. No, we're not going to a doctor to help you lose weight. No, we're not doing that. We'll do it the right way. These people take the exact opposite. Things that we know to be true and untrue. These doctors, and I use that word in the loosest form of the word. Like Mengele was a doctor. But the experiments that dude performed made him a demonic monster. But he was a doctor. Fauci apparently is a doctor. But if you haven't seen the experiments that Fauci did with not just the AIDS patients in the 70s and 80s, but also with the beagles. We have a beagle here. One of the things that I love, and it's comical as all get out, is when I go out to their dog pen out there, and I open it, he'll run out, he'll turn around, and he'll give me a thank you. Fauci cut out the vocal cords of beagles so they couldn't scream when they were doing all the experiments with it. He's a doctor. He's the guy that's telling you to get your COVID shot. Again, you look at a guy like me, and I have vaccine hesitancy. There's a good reason for that. I see modern healthcare as a profiteering racket. And I think it has been that for quite some time. Quite some time. I hate it. And then you got this guy who is a pediatric doctor. A pediatric doctor. And he's suing so he can block the natural progression of children. The healthy, natural progression of children. And I say it's like these moms that allow this sort of thing, they have Munchausen syndrome. They're trying to live their, and weak fathers. What kind of father would allow his wife to make a decision that will stunt his child's growth forever? That would give his daughter a double mastectomy when she's perfectly healthy. What kind of father would do that? I can't even imagine what kind of weak man that's got to be. I can't wrap my head around it. And if you're a mom, how do you do that? I mean, your kid is sick mentally. And I happen to think it's a social contagion. That's why it happens to a lot of, and I'm sorry, I don't know how this is going to fall on people's ears, but it seems to be a social contagion of liberal white girls. And I don't understand it. I guess I do understand it. I don't like it. I don't like what it's doing. And it doesn't just hit like, as a matter of fact, it's less common in impoverished communities, in minority communities. Like Elon Musk has a kid that is inflicted with this. There's several, and you go to Hollywood, it's like rampant. It's all over the place. The fact that it's in North Dakota and these people are fighting for this, yes, vanity, narcissism. Yeah, you're spot on, Dave and Dan. But I can't understand it. So I think 360 days in jail, let's do that. I think if you're a doctor that does something this heinous to a child, I don't care how the child feels about it in the moment. I don't care how the mom feels about it. I think you should be feet first in a wood chipper. I think it's that serious. I do. I think it's demonic. There are like no words to express how disgusting to me that mindset is. But this doctor put out a press release saying that the lower court got the legal standard wrong, claiming that the ban violates broad personal freedoms in our... And personal freedoms aside, if you're a doctor and you're doing this, it has nothing to do with personal freedom. This is malpractice, is what it is. It is child abuse, is what it is. Personal freedoms aside. I I don't understand it. They want to kick back for stricter scrutiny, calling it life-saving health care and family autonomy. Again, if you're the mom and the dad, you're a weak man, a beta male, if you allow your wife to do this. And if you are the woman doing this to your kid or allowing a doctor to do this to your kid, I think that's child abuse. If you spank your kid, liberals get all wee-weed up. But you can chop body parts off, you can retard their actual healthy growth, and that's okay? We're fighting in friggin' court over this? This is crazy to me. It's nonsense. It's not health care. It's medical malpractice wearing a white coat. It's experimentation on children, is what it is. And I said this before, a huge reason for vaccine hesitancy and why it's skyrocketing across the country is stuff like this. You have doctors doing this, fighting in court so they're able to do this to children. I said this before, Joseph Mengele was a doctor too. White coat, fancy credentials, claimed he was pushing science forward. How does history judge him? Google his name. He was a monster, and for good reason. Same white coat doesn't make it right, in my humble opinion. Second point, if your daughter looks in the mirror, feels like she's trapped in anorexia, you don't agree with that. You don't hand her a scalpel. You don't prescribe her like X-Lax or some starvation drug. You call it what it is. It's a mental health emergency, and you get her real help. So why is it when a kid says they're born in the wrong body, they're born the opposite sex, why do we affirm that and start an irreversible intervention? And I'll wrap it up with this. Compassion means protecting those children, not enabling other people to harm them. It does not show love. It does not show compassion. This doctor should be ashamed of himself. And anyone, I had folks on my social media tell me that this guy is their kid's pediatrician. And my advice to them is dump that dude. That dude is do not let your kid anywhere near him. This dude is fighting in court to retard the natural progression of children. You don't get, in my humble opinion, you don't get any more demonic than that. And I'm just going to leave that there. Again, if you want to know my feelings on it, I wrote a whole article about it. And you just got a little bit of that right now. It's 7:33. Leon Francis, BlackBeardLogic, Guns in the 701 Network. I was going to hit the Fargo harm reduction. I guess I can talk about it a little bit. Apparently, the chuckle nuts at what's it called? The Harm Reduction Center. Yeah, that's what it's called. Harm reduction. It's like in today's world, it's like opposite world. It's like Bizarro World. You remember Superman's Bizarro World? So these chuckle nuts, Cass County shattered records in 2025. 569 Narcan reversals. That's up huge from 2024. 48 deaths confirmed. Fentanyl, methamphetamine cocktail is getting deadly. Over 16,000 Narcan doses handed out. You got the syringe programs rolling on. They halted, to their credit, I guess, handed out crack pipes. So that's a thing. I think they're still doing the booth kits. That's a thing. Not going to get into that. I will get into that. That is, for the folks that don't know what a booth kit is, it is a way that these chuckle nuts have devised to get high without shooting up. It's you use it anally, and that's about all I'm going to say about that. But Fargo has been providing drug paraphernalia through the Harm Reduction Center, providing this, and then they're flabbergasted as to why there's so many people shooting up now. Why we have to have all this Narcan all of a sudden? Where are all these people coming from? They've given out over 1 million needles. 1 million needles. No idea how many crack pipes they gave out before that thing was shut down. But to me, it is just, you give liberals sometimes good-hearted folks, conservative, Christian, we take this approach. Well, you can't exclude these people from society and blah, blah, blah. So you give them a little concession. That's never good. The liberals in Fargo have run that thing into the ground. When you can't have your kid play in the park without stepping on the fear of stepping on a hypodermic needle, there's a friggin' problem. There's no real recovery. And again, the lady that manages this place makes 6 figures. So I understand why she was out in front of all of the mainstream media touting the virtues. And I'll even say this. The woman, I forget her name, and if you're in Fargo, research this, tell your friends. The Cass County attorney, that lady is a liberal. I heard her on Jay Thomas's show. She needs to be run out of there. All of that, the things that she was saying about, what's it called? Rehabilitative, some fancy liberal way of saying, let's be nicer to criminals. Let's let them plead down, not do so much time. But how's that working out for you, Cass County? She is a proponent of that. And she said so live in an interview with Jay Thomas. She is also a supporter of this, the Harm Reduction Center. I also heard her lie. She said, and I was the first to bring this up, like months and months and months ago. There was a case where a guy got arrested, and he had drug paraphernalia on him. And he goes to jail, he gets in front of the judge, and he says, how can I have it? He has other charges, but, he has this charge also. And he's like, how can I be charged with that if I got it from the city of Fargo? And the judge is like, I don't know, but I got to charge you, and, that whole thing happened. I heard this woman say that they know that needle did not come, the paraphernalia that he had, that he said he got from the city of Fargo, she says it didn't come from there. And in the same interview, someone called in and said, hey, why don't we have needles that come from there have special markers on them or a special color or blah, blah, blah. And I heard this woman say in the same interview, well, we can't do that because they get all the needles from the same place, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, wait a minute, then how do you know it didn't come from the harm reduction? The guy said he got them from the harm reduction center, the city of Fargo. So she lied. And this is the state's attorney, the city, Cass County attorney. And she is running again. She wants to be Cass County's attorney again. Look up her name. I'll do a write-up about her, and I'll probably post it Monday. I've just been a little busy here. I was listening to that interview, and I'm just shaking my head like, what the... It blows my mind how people can be this dumb. Anyway, back to the story. And I guess I'll wrap this up. I think it's time to flip the script. I don't think that this is harm reduction. I think harm reduction would include rehabilitation. These folks not being able to go out and basically get free needles and boofing kits and crack pipes and all of that stuff, they need to be rehabilitated. I think the folks that are using this money, I think they're selfish. I think there's a monetary advantage for them to run this program, as indicated by the lady that runs this thing making six figures. 1 million needles. 1 million needles. Do you understand the amount of addicts that it would take? I think just this year it's like 500,000. You understand how many addicts that is? Where are these people coming from? I tell you where they are now. They're in Fargo. They're right there, downtown Fargo now. And we wouldn't have known any of this had not the chief of police, who I'm not a fan of, had he not come out with the numbers. They would have continued to lie and downplay this. And to me, it's unacceptable. But I don't live in Fargo, thank God, but I have a lot of friends that do, conservative friends. And it's concerning to me that they have to live in a city that has gone that far down the tubes. When we get back, I want to, as a matter of fact, I want to do this before I go to commercial. I am involved in a new venture, our first show, and it was great. And like the views were crazy on the first show, but it's called Due North Political Podcast, and these are some of my very, very old friends from back in the Tea Party days. So I was stoked when Perry called me, but. Bi-weekly, we have about an hour show where there are four of us. We have Representative Mike, and I'm not gonna say his name right. Mockenbacher, Mike Mockenbacher, or Mockenbacher. Perry Schumacher, Perry's brother, Ryan Schumacher, and so we're all conservative. But we don't agree on 100% of things 100% of the time. And if you saw the last show, the first show, like me and Mike, we didn't butt heads, but, you know, we kind of went back and forth a little bit. But this is a preview to that show. I would highly encourage you guys to go to the social media platform. Tons of people already have. And I'm stoked about that. Go to the Due North Political Podcast on all your social media. You can go on my page and follow that link. But if you just type in Due North Political Podcast, all of your social media and all the media platforms should pull up. I think we're on all of them, Spotify, whatever, Apple, iHeart, all of those guys. We're across all of those platforms. It is bi-weekly. It's Tuesday night, bi-weekly for about an hour. And here's the promo for that. It is it's a pretty cool thing. I love it. I am the incinerator, as you probably saw that. So. Anyway, I do want to hit this one, and we're running so a couple of these I'm not going to be able to hit. But I don't know if you heard, Born in the USA is making a comeback. Jim Jordan has been trying to lock out foreign agendas. He's a fight. If you don't know who Jim Jordan is, he's a fighter, wrestler, patriot. He's trying to get a bill that would require you to be born in America, on American soil, to run for president or sit in Congress. So no more loopholes, no more imported agendas, just pure born in the USA, loyalty to this country and its value. And this isn't about exclusion, folks. It's about making our leaders have real skin in the game and deep roots in the dirt, in the red dirt and amber waves of this country. And I say that because, I see, and I'm going to play a clip here in a minute. I see way too many people with no sweat equity into this country talking about the ills of this country. And I'm talking about your Rashida Tlaibs. I'm talking about your Mondamis. I'm talking about your Ilhan Omar and the hatred that they have for this country. And then you see, if you watch the State of the Union address, you see the patriots in that room. You see those soldiers. When the guy that was piloting the helicopter and got shot through the legs and the hip, and he's looking out for his team members, his service members, and he's flying this helicopter, and you need your feet to do this, the pedals. And Donald Trump explained it in the only way Donald Trump can, But you see the pride that guy has. And then you look at the Democrat side of the aisle, and you see people like Ro Khanna and Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib. And you can understand why they don't feel for this country like I feel for this country. Like you guys feel for this country. There's no sweat equity there. There's no dad, grandpa, son, father that shed blood for this country. If you're an African American, you have people that fought and died for all of the gains that I and my son enjoy now. That's equity. That's equity into this thing we call America. That's what that is. These people don't share that. They don't. They can't love it. So they fight tooth and nail to make it same or similar to the crap holes that they came from. If Ilhan Omar or Rashida Tlaib were in their countries of origin, they'd be nobodies. They can only be the people that they are here because of liberals. And I want to play this clip here, and I want to talk a little bit about it. Here we go.
If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. Isn't that a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals, and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
took some creative liberty there, as you can see. But I look at people like that, it disgusts me. And the fact that Donald Trump is standing there, and he, to his credit, wow, that was brilliant. He's like, hey, if you agree with this statement, you know, give me a like, basically. And the American government is for the American citizen. I don't understand how that is even remotely controversial. I don't agree with bringing all those Somalians over here. Nope. Send them back. I think that all the NGOs that flooded us with them, they should be audited. They should be dismantled, and we should all receive a check. I just do. And I'm sorry if you don't. No, I'm not sorry if you don't like that. That's just the way I feel. I also think that if you value the illegal immigrant, or the immigrant, or the H-1B visa holder over American citizens, then you are the problem. You are. America is for Americans. People with sweat equity, and I've spoken about this. I don't understand how Minnesota. Do you understand what it took for native Minnesotans, for their ancestors, to get from the eastern part of this nation all the way to Minnesota? Do you understand what it took? How many of those people died? The hardships that it took for them to get from point A to point B and to build that city, the Twin Cities, to what it is today. And now, you look over there and you're just like, what the hell happened? $9 billion. We allowed some low IQ people to steal. We allowed a chuckle nut like Tim Walsh and Ilhan Omar to change the flag to a second-rate third world country flag. How do you do that? How do you love America? How do you love Minnesota and you allow that to happen? I will never understand that. If there were ever a time for patriots to rise up and say, oh, hell no, it was when they were changing the flag. And now, just look at the flag. I'm just going to. And it's because we've allowed soft beta people into positions of power. That's never good. That's never good. We may not like Trump. We may think he's brash. We may think he's obnoxious and flamboyant and he exaggerates. And I'm here for all of that. We may not like that, though. But you know what he's not? He doesn't hate this country. He loves it. And he wants to make it the absolute pinnacle of what it could be, what we were. Joe Biden and those idiots, they tore down America. You think we were respected under the Biden administration? When we pulled out of Afghanistan like idiots, left all our equipment over there, tuck-tailed. And the media, we don't give the media the credit that's due them. You understand why most people can't even really remember that? It's because they sanitized it. The media sanitized it. If you understood the people that fell off those planes because they did not want to stay in that country and that base wasn't there. Hundreds of people climbed onto the planes, the outside. And as they're flying off, they're dropping off like flies. Our media sanitized that so you didn't see it. Because apparently, I don't know, that was too graphic. That's a lie. They sanitized it so you wouldn't understand the gravity of what was being done. It's what they do to everything now. It's why I take offense that, like, before I can see a video, now it says graphic language or graphic violence. And I look at it and I'm like, I watched movies in the 80s as a child with more violence than this. But this is the world we're leaving our kids. And I'm afraid. Like, with the midterms coming up especially, we let these idiots back. If we allow them to have a win, I don't know what this country is going to look like. And I've said that before, and in the past, and looking back, like you're like, well, you know, we kind of weathered that. But these people are crazy. They're backcrack crazy. And I believe that they hate America and what it stands for. Why do you think they're trying to replace so many of us? They're trying to replace us. And if you're black and you're listening to this, they're trying to replace you too. If you think that liberals like black fathers that are present and that are strong and that are America first, I don't know what to tell you, brother. I don't even know how to start that conversation. You are so wrong. So wrong. It's why they're importing the third world. If you're a Christian father, they need to replace you. I mean, they started on the women a long time ago. They started on black folks a long time ago. And if you look at it, the black population has been stagnant around 13% for my entire life. It's not growing. Look right here in North Dakota. Birth rates are down. I think the last that I saw, like 30%. So what's going on? They used to say that the Great Replacement was some kind of right-wing conspiracy. It was not. It never was. I've been saying this for years that it wasn't. You could see it very clearly. I remember when Barack Obama said one of his goals was to inject color into all too white enclaves of America. And they did it. They did it. And they flaunted it in your face. And we're supposed to just sit back and take that, I guess. No. And I am for one very happy that Donald Trump pulled that mask right off of those idiots. They do not love the American citizen. They do absolutely put the illegal over you. They think they're more virtuous than you. I don't believe that. I believe that they let in a ton of Ilhan Omars and Rashida Tlaibs. Those people are controllable. You're not. We still have that spirit of 1776 in us. Grizzled, old, ornery, salty, stuck in our ways. And we like our guns. Those people that are coming over here, they're coming from situations where their government never let them have firearms, ever. They're controllable. We are not. That's the crux of the problem. They will try, by hook or by crook. I mean, you see what they're doing with the elections. You see what they did with the elections. You see what they did in Minnesota and in California and in Dearborn and all over the country, even in Texas, they're having an issue with this. Anyway, Jim Jordan, I hope this works. I have I don't know, I have some misgivings. I mean, think about this. Not Rokana, but Rashida Tlaib in there with an F ice pen, chanting KKK back when everyone else was chanting USA, USA. She's like KKK, KKK. What? These people are insane. And then you got like Zoran Mondami taking over as mayor of New York City, born in Uganda. Born in Uganda. Not a drop of American soil under his feet at birth. And what does he do on day one? Revokes pro-Israel executive orders. He ditches the anti-BDS protections of our ally. He scraps the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism. He's got Muslim Brotherhood ties. He hires staff with anti-Semitic baggage. He starts pushing hardcore socialist policies, attacks the rich, and then flip-flops on school control. And if you haven't heard the latest, they're going to be running a deficit. So now he's saying, in order to balance this thing out, I got to hit all the classes, which was always going to be a thing. It always comes back to that with socialism. They always get you amped up, fired up to eat the rich. When they get in power, the thing they don't tell you is the rich are mobile. They have resources, so they can move. And who's going to be stuck there to foot the bill? With decreased services, almost austerity measures. So you're going to be there with less services and a bigger tax burden on you. How does that grab you? Jordan's bill kind of changes the game. It puts America first by ensuring that our top leaders bleed stars and stripes from birth. No more slipping in foreign agendas and whatnot. I think it's common sense. And I see a lot of my liberal friends are saying this is unconstitutional and whatnot. And part of me agrees with that. Part of me says, well, we've never lived in a time like we live in now. I think that this would not have been needed in prior generations because one, it was unheard of, and two, those guys would have been up in arms by now. That's why they do this creeping tyranny type deal, because they're not quite sure what's going to tip us into that other category where we're like, oh hell no, 1776, let's go. But anyway, I'm going to hit one more break, and then I'm going to wrap up the show right after this.
Hey, it's Leon Francis from BlackBeardLogic on the Guns in the 701 Network. I'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors. Stay tuned.
Anvil Brand LLC, raising and training tomorrow's barrel horses right out of Bismarck, North Dakota. Tracy and her family are great American patriots who not only support the Second Amendment, but they also promoted what you're looking for, top quality barrel horses. Go ahead and give Tracy a call at 701-471-6629 and tell them Guns and 701.com sent you. That's Anvil Brand LLC out of Bismarck, North Dakota.
Coming this weekend to Fargo, the first ever freeze out for Fisher House. Join us February 6th and 7th in the West Acres Mall parking lot in...
Hey, it's Leon Francis from BlackBeardLogic on the Guns in the 701 Network. I'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors. Stay tuned.
LAUER Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. LAUER Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at LAUER Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns in the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's LAUER Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
I am Leon Francis, and this is BlackBeardLogic on the Guns and the 701 Network. Let's get it. All right, Leon Francis, BlackBeardLogic. This is the Guns in the 701 Network. I just dropped my YouTube link right there in the comments. So if you're on any of my social media, you should be able to see it. I think it comes through on Facebook, YouTube, Kick, Twitch, all of the things. So. If you like the show, if you don't like the show, if you want to yell at me and rant at me, if you want to put a paragraph or two into the comments on how much you disagree with everything that came out of my face hole tonight, you can do that. And I welcome it. So, thank you guys for tuning in. I went just a little long, but I was cognizant of the time. So, Clay shouldn't be that upset with me. So, maybe he doesn't give me a call and say, hey, Chuckle Nut, what are you doing? You're eating up all the time and whatnot. Anyway, I am going to probably the beginning of next week, I'm going to drop a couple more videos, and they'll run through the same network and everything. So it'll be BlackBeardLogic, Guns in the 701 Network. Just keep your ear to the ground on that. I want to get on this state's attorney. Because I think she's dishonest, and I think Fargo needs to run from her. But I got to research the other guys to make sure, she's not the worst. Because I've seen that. I've seen candidates, and I'm like, there's no way we can support this person. And then you look at the other ones, and they're pretty much the best out of all of the bad. And this woman, in my humble opinion, is not an honest person, and she's an awful, if you know what that is, AWFUL. Look it up. And probably one of the reasons why Fargo is crime-ridden. When you have a state's attorney that pleads down a lot of cases, you get a lot more criminals on the street. You get folks that should be behind bars with shorter sentences because they were allowed to plead down, and now those dangerous individuals are back on the street. I think I want to address that next week. I don't think that this Iran thing is over by a site. So I think I am going to probably address that also. But till then, good night. God bless. This is Leon Francis. Thanks for hanging out with me on BlackBeardLogic, Guns in the 701 Network. And stay tuned to Due North Political Podcast. If you haven't already, go over, give the page a like, follow it, and then check it out. It's only an hour every 2 weeks.
And it's a very good conversation. We had a very good first show. So with that, I'm going to sign out. Good night. God bless.